Cait really doesn't fit into my genius-idiot binary. The world of Fallout, just like our world, is full of winners and losers. And Cait, I'm sorry to say, is one of the losers.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be!
Unlike Piper, who uses her comparatively privileged position to annoy and discredit those around her, or Nick, who manages to turn his difficult position into a net positive for all those who know him, Cait is forced to react to things in her life, meaning her life is more shaped by those around her who make decisions for her, rather than having the freedom to shape her own life how she'd like it. Despite all this, I found myself impressed with what she was able to accomplish with her limited options. And for that reason, I think she qualifies as an intelligent person in the world of Fallout 4. By the end of this video, you will see Cait as a thoughtful, methodical person who remains hopeful despite her terrible circumstances, and that she overcomes more than almost anyone else in Fallout 4. So, now that I've got you here, here is 7 reasons Cait is a genius. Really quick, I usually add memes and stuff into these videos. It gets pretty heavy, so I couldn't find any way to make child abuse or sexual assault funny. So, I don't really joke in this one. Sorry. We'll plan for the next one. Reason number 1. She tries to run away from her abuse. Many people who find themselves in abusive situations will end up simply taking it in and making the best of a bad situation. I'm not trying to blame abuse victims here, but if you are being abused, it can often be easy to just accept it, even though deep down you should know that you shouldn't. Only Cait was smart enough to reject that. In her hopeless situation, she decided the only way for her to survive was to escape. As a mere child, she was forced to endure horrible abuse.
I'm convinced I was a mistake, because I can't remember a single moment that they treated me like their daughter. I was yelled at and beaten. Everything I did was wrong. Nothing but a nuisance in their eyes.
She tried to escape the cruel abuses of her family not once, but twice, at great personal injury to herself.
Why didn't you run away?
I tried. Twice. The first time I did it, they locked me in a shed outside of the house we lived in. The second time, they broke one of my legs.
Despite being only a child, Cait did everything she could to stand up to the only adults in her life, her own parents. She fought them all the way up until they sold her into slavery. Cait is clearly not the type of person to just allow herself to be abused. She took action to take control of her life, and that's something that smart people do.
I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Reason number 2. She always kept her goals in mind, even when there was little hope of achieving them. I imagine there are a lot of ways to escape slavery in the world of Fallout. But here's the thing, Cait's not the main character. She doesn't get to win gladiator fights in the pit, or get into the Sierra Madre and beat Elijah at his own game, or kill the overboss and replace him. No, when she was made a slave by her own parents, there wasn't some secret plan to get her out. She just had to do what the slavers made her do for 5 years while she bided her time.
I was with those slavers for 5 years. Roughest 5 of my goddamn life.
Most people would give up in this situation, but not Cait. She must have known she was never going to fight her way out of the situation, but she stayed strong, stealing small amounts of caps from the slavers after they wore themselves out on her for 5 years, until she had achieved the impossible and had saved enough caps to buy her own freedom.
But I bided me time and learned to use their own methods against them. Stealing a few caps out of a sleeping man's pocket is a piece of cake, as long as you don't get greedy.
She was smart enough to realize that she only had one chance, and also patient enough to actually achieve it. Reason number 3, she plays to her strengths. When she finally did have a choice in the world, she realized that all she wanted to do was forget her past. She knows that the only way to effectively do that was to have a steady flow of caps, but unlike many of your companions in the game, she didn't have any kind of education or training. So what did she do? She played to her strengths. She took all the rage and danger inside of her and channeled it into the only way she knew how to make money.
Where do I begin? Did you know I spent 3 years fighting at the combat zone? 3 years of getting beaten to hell by a bunch of losers and lunatics. After the matches were over, I'd spit out the blood, stitch me wounds, and do a couple of shots of psycho to keep me going.
Say what you will about her goal or her method, but Cait is a girl who can get what she wants done. Reason number 4. she never fully lost hope. I think Cait is probably the most tragic of all the companions in Fallout 4, and that's not exactly a short list, you know? She's essentially Clover from Fallout 3.
My name's Clover. I hear you're the new man in my life. You're looking for a bodyguard, and I'm looking for a body. Sounds like we're going to have some fun times, lover.
I mean, her old master gives her to you under a contract, but let's recognize this for what it is. Cait is being forced to do something she vocally does not want to. Like a slave.
Now get the hell out of here. You ain't welcome anymore, little bird.
You're a real son of a bitch. You know that, Tommy?
You don't have to tell me.
Also, her parents didn't die early in some betrayal. They beat and abused her until she was old enough to be sold.
18 years of suffering through that shite, and all I was worth to them was a pocket full of caps.
And she won't even tell you what the slavers did to her.
The things they made me do. The way they use me for their amusement. It sickens me to me stomach even thinking about it.
She won't tell you either because it's too much for her to remember, or too much for Bethesda to write into a game. She then killed her own parents.
I gave in to me rage and I headed home. You can imagine the look on me parents' faces when I kicked open their door. What you can't imagine is what they looked like after. After I emptied me gun into them.
Once she'd done this, she only felt so bad for doing it that she signed a contract with Tommy, where she got beat in a ring over and over again, just to have enough to keep herself in enough chems to dull the pain.
When I close me eyes, all I can see is their faces twisted with fear. And then my mind starts wandering and I start judging myself. And it's ripping me the fuck apart.
After all that, she should essentially behave like Clover, like I said. Someone so harrowed by PTSD that she can't react normally to the situations around her.
Yes, Daddy, I'm sorry, Daddy. I just know who Mr. Eulogy likes better, and as soon as you figure it out too, we'll all be happier.
Someday, you're gonna realize that Eulogy don't give a shit about either of us.
Completely numb to the world. But here's the thing about Cait. She's not. In a relatively short amount of time, she opens up to you, taking a chance that you're somehow different from anyone she's ever known. And when she loses control of her life, she has enough hope inside of her to ask the player for help. This not only displays a resilience of spirit and character, despite everything that happened to her, but also shows a strength of mind ultimately missing in most of the companions in Fallout 4. Reason number 5. Longtime viewers of this channel will be waiting for this one. She gets off drugs as soon as she can. Remember when I criticized Hancock for abusing chems? How exactly is Cait different? Well, unlike Hancock, who uses chems as a way to seek thrills and a way to empower himself, Cait instead recognizes them for what they are, a crutch. Cait admits that she is using chems as a way to escape her exceptionally haunting past. She knows it's wrong, but from her abusive childhood, to her stint as a slave, to her time as a prize fighter, she understandably wanted to dull her pain.
You think I inject myself with all that shite and drink myself drunk because I'm a tough Irish girl? I do it so I can forget and move on with my miserable life.
Additionally, her story is unique because she learns to rely on you, the player, and as soon as this happens, she recognizes that she no longer needs to rely on the chems. At which point, she asks for your help to get clean.
I need you to help me, please. Ever since I left home, I've been using Psycho. I don't know why I'm still taking that crap, but I can't stop. And believe me, I've tried. I need to get this shite out of me system before I wind up dead. From one friend to another, all I'm asking is for your help.
Reason number 6. She stands up for herself. One thing that surprised me about Cait is that she refuses to be a victim. Despite feeling inside like she's worthless, she bites back when other people mock or make fun of her. I think one of the better examples is when she tells you that she killed her parents. If you try and bring pre-war morality into the conversation, she pushes back.
How could you kill your own parents?
How can you call them parents? They were opportunists who were taking advantage of a human being just to make a few caps. If I'd come out of that bitch of a mother deformed, they would have drowned me in the river and started again.
She knows and will readily admit to her flaws, but she also is willing to own her actions, however bad they might seem to an outsider. This is because, despite all appearances, she isn't actually impulsive. She plans out her life even though all of her options are terrible. She thinks through her choices. And of all the dangerous and chilling ones she has to choose from, she always tries to choose the one that's best that's available to her. And the last reason, number 7, she takes pleasure where she can in the messed up world that she's in. One final thing that proves Cait is smart is that she doesn't allow the world to be ruined for her. Given everything she's gone through, it would be normal, even expected, for her to be less able to see the small instances of pleasure she could take from her life. But she doesn't.
Deacon, where have you been all my life, handsome?
Waiting for you, beautiful.
I'll tell you what, Hancock. If I ever decide to go ghoul, you're the first one I'm looking up.
I'll be counting the days.
Well, hey there, handsome. Watch this guy for me, will ya? He loves to get himself into trouble.
For you, Cait, I'd do anything.
I'll still keep the bullets off you and drink your sorry arse under the table. What are friends for, eh?
Everyone is entitled to react to trauma in their own way, of course, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. But I think it's admirable that Cait hasn't allowed her past to ruin her future, and instead still seeks out positive ways to have a good time and interact with the horrible world that she inhabits. And that's 7 reasons why Cait is a genius. Stick around. I'm doing more videos, okay? I'll get through all the companions of Fallout 4, and then I'm planning on doing the leaders of Fallout 4, and then we'll move on to the other Fallout games. So please, if you like Fallout, go ahead and subscribe. Here's some of my other videos. They're in a different vein than this one, but they're still good. Thanks for watching.